Good morning, it's Sherry. And I want to tell you first and foremost, congratulations for getting this far. See, getting this far to actually watch the first video puts you in like the top 0.01% of the world, but the fact you're watching video number 2 now puts you in like the top 0.0012% of the world. So congratulations, you are officially winning this morning. So let's do this. These videos over the next 6 months, I want you to get extreme value from this. I don't want you just to like memorize it or have an idea about this. I want you to know this for a fact. I want you to understand it. I want you to comprehend it. I want you to know this for a fact because you've actually seen the results transpire into your life. And see, I want to set 2 ground rules to help facilitate that in your life. Ground rule number 1 is before you start watching any of these videos, I want you to write down what your goal is every single day on a piece of paper. Write down your goal. If your goal is to have a better relationship with your spouse, write that down. If your goal is to make more money at your job, write that down. If your goal is to just have more success, write that down every single day. Now the second part is I want you to pick a time later in the day to go back and revisit this material. Study it. Think on it. Dissect it. Use field application in it. But I want you to really get to know this material. Now, since you're not used to studying every day like I wasn't, pick a time every single day to where you go back and make it just structured study time. It can be like 10-15 minutes. So those 2 ground rules. 1, write down your goal every single day prior to reviewing this video. Number 2, after viewing this video, have a section dedicated to just studying this material every single day. Okay, so those 2 ground rules set, let's get into the actual content. The content of this today is going to be attitude. Attitude is the foundation of every single successful person out there, every single successful story out there, attitude. And see, let me read you the definition of attitude. Attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone, something, and is typically reflected in a person's behavior. So attitude is not just what we're thinking. Attitude is what we're feeling. Attitude is what we're acting. So it's those 3 things combined that makes attitude. And see, the reality is you have to keep your attitude in check. Not once a month, not just on Sundays, every single second of the day, you need to keep your attitude in check if you want results. And your attitude has to be positive. See, heads up is if you're thinking negative, life's gonna give you some more negativity. If you're feeling negative, you're gonna get more negative results. If you are acting negative, you're gonna get a lot more things in your life to make you act negative. See, the best way to sum it up is this. Your attitude towards life dictates life's attitude towards you. So common sense says, instead of being negative all the time, be positive in every situation. But it sounds so easy. How do you do it? That was my question. Like, if you're feeling negative, how do you just switch it? If you're thinking negative, how do you just switch it? Like, how do you do that? And so I learned some secrets I want to share with you. Number 1, if you're sitting there thinking negative, like, I suck at working out, or I'm terrible at saving money, or I can never remember anything, or I'm always sick. Heads up, the reason why you're always sick, the reason why you're always not saving money, the reason why you're always terrible at remembering things is because you keep telling yourself that. It's that simple. So try this shift really quick. If you feel like you were terrible at closing a sale, instead of sitting there saying, I suck at closing, be like, I own closing. I'm awesome at closing. I close every single person I talk to. Instead of saying you're terrible at working out, be like, hey, look, I own the gym. I love working out. I'm awesome at it. Okay, so now I know some of you logical people out there, like I'm logical, is struggling with that comment. Because here's how I used to be. You know, I hate working out, so I tell myself I hate working out. Well, hello, I kept hating working out. I never get results at gym. Well, hello, I never got results at gym. So whenever you sit there and tell yourself, I'm awesome at working out, I love working out, it's like you're having this like wrestling contest in your head. Like, I hate working out. No, sure, you love working out. I suck at working out. No, sure, you're awesome working out. And it's like this fight in your head. But see, in the very beginning, it's just this big lie you're trying to feed yourself. But what happens is if you tell yourself a lie enough, eventually you start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, it's all over. And see, typically that statement has a lot of negativity to go with it. But in this instance, I promise you, it's a good thing. See, let's say you're terrible you're terrible at closing sales. You tell yourself you're terrible, but you start shifting and say, okay, I'm amazing at closing. I close every single person. Whenever that eventually you tell yourself that enough in your head, you start believing it, and then you start acting like you are, and then you start actually doing it. So in the beginning, it's just this big fiction, but you do it enough, it begins backfilled full of reality and results. Just don't question it. Don't be logical. Just do it and see what happens. See, logic plays no role in these success principles, I'll tell you that. No role in those. So just go with it. Okay, number 2, feeling. When you start feeling negative, like you start getting anxiety or depression or angry at somebody, that's the universe's signs of telling you manifestation is in process. Like you're bringing more of that stuff into your life and you want to stop that now. So here's how you stop that. What you do is you have an album in your cell phone of pictures of people you love, videos of fun times you had in your life, or maybe even music videos that take you out of your funk. The second you start feeling negative, go back and revisit those and watch those ASAP. Get yourself out of that negative feeling immediately. You don't want to be there. Okay, and the third thing is actions. Have you stopped acting negatively? Well, let me have an adult conversation with you. Just quit acting negative. Like, don't talk behind people's backs. Don't complain about your boss. Don't make fun of people. Don't be mean to people. Like, just don't act negative. It's that simple. Because if you're sitting there talking behind someone's back or you're being mean to somebody, okay, if that is not mean to them, like you're not sending the damage to them, you're sending the damage to yourself. But the philosophy is like this. That makes as much sense as blowing sand directly into the wind. It's gonna come back and hit you straight in the eyes. I promise you, every single time. What you put out is exactly what you're gonna be getting back. So to recap is this. In life, focus on what is happening in life, not what's not. Find the good in every single situation, no matter how negative it is. And the last thing is this, is if you're around people and they're talking negative to you, just in that conversation, walk away. You do not want to be feeding into that. If you're around negative people, change the people you're around. The more negative you're around, the more you're going to be sucked in. So here's the homework I want you to have this week. Homework number 1 is every single day I want you to write down 10 things you are grateful for. 10 things. If you can't think of 10 things, you can only think of one thing, think that one thing down every single day. Okay, write it down 10 times. So like I'm thankful for weather, I'm thankful I got a chair, I'm thankful I got a house, I'm thankful I got my family, I'm thankful I got all my friends. Write down 10 things you're thankful for every single day. And the second thing is, the second thing for your homework is I want you to catch yourself. Every single time you're acting negative, feeling negative, thinking negative, catch yourself. Make a conscious effort every single second of the day to catch yourself and revert it to positive. That's your homework for this week. 1, write down 10 things you're grateful. 2, keep everything positive this week. And if you need an accountability partner, grab one and help them keep you in check. You do those 2 things this week, just this week, watch things start to shift. 2 weeks, watch things start to shift. A month, 6 months, watch your entire reality start shifting. See, how do I know this? This is stuff I didn't just read in a book. This is stuff I've seen in my life firsthand. Okay, I went from living at my parents' house to I'm getting ready to close on almost a $500,000 house. Cash. I went from working at the Campbell County Sheriff's Department, making $2,000 a month, to now I'm in the top 1% earners in my company. Okay, I am not just talking about something I read in the book. I'm talking about something I was in your guys' situation, and all I did was I started shifting these small things in my life and started following success principles. And so with that said, you guys, enjoy your homework this week, and I'll catch you on the next video. Talk soon. Bye.